Table 9. You guys know what table 9 is? Chapter 9. Chapter 9, you got nothing. The only thing that's in chapter 9 is tables. But the other thing you need to know about chapter 9 is this. Chapter 9, when you go in chapter 9, when you go in chapter 9, before we get to chapter 9, hang on. I gotta show you guys something first. See, I'm getting way ahead of myself because I'm getting excited. I need to chill. So you guys know how the code book is gonna make it a little harder, but I'll find some way gonna do it anyway. There it is. Perfect. Now I found it. So, let me see if this, I'm gonna see. I'm going to show you that. I'm gonna point this. How many of you guys have a code book? Okay, some of you guys. Alright, if you have a code book, it's gonna be on page, mine it's page 70, it's starting page 70.180. But the one we're gonna be on this page. Let me see. Yep, we're gonna use this page. Let's see if this thing works. I can maybe print out a couple of copies. It will make more sense. Might print out good. Might print out crazy. I don't know, we'll see. But at least you guys will get an idea what I'm talking about. It makes much more. Yes, sir.
Last week, I handed you my test.
Yeah, I have it.
You still have it open?
Yes, yeah, I got yours. I have yours. Yeah, I'll turn it on before we go to break.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Why not on this thing?
I didn't hear anything.
Let's try it again. Try that.
I'm picking both drawers now.
Yeah, maybe it's funny. Change your no. Let's try this. Let's try it. Ah, not bad. So good. Perfect. So we'll use this as an example. So let's do, I don't know. Let's try one. See what happens. Okay, perfect. All right. Let's do about 20 of them. you have a code book, you don't need one.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
uh-huh. You have a code
Well,
book.
yeah, right. I got a couple. Yeah, you know I'm ready.
But so
Yeah, we ready.
so this is what's going on here. So let's start with this. So basically, let me show you guys a couple of things here. So first thing you need to do, turn to, we're gonna talk about this paper, but before we even talk about that, the first thing I need you to do, I need you to turn to, what the heck? Come on. This is not helping me at all. What I mean, it's not there. Then I make another copy. Okay. Okay, this is not good. Let me see if maybe it's in your workbook somewhere. Maybe I miss it. Nope, it's not there. Alright.
I have a list of book, or workbook from last year.
Yeah, like all the.
That has all the wire types broke down into their temperature reading.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what you're looking for?
No, actually, I was looking for this page.
Okay.
That's okay. I just made a copy of it.
Like I said, it's just not much of a list.
Yeah, it's fine, man. I just made a copy of that.
Very similar to this.
Hmm?
It's similar to this table, but it's got all the lists.
Yeah.
types of wires above it.
Yeah. Yeah, I made a copy of that. Beautiful. Was that enough? Did everybody get one, or do you need some more? Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh, my God, man.
I got one.
And then do you have the code book? Yeah. Okay, all right. Need one of those. Who else need one of those? Just kind of pass them around, and you don't have one. All right. So the first thing we're gonna look at is this. All right. So, all right. So, to understand this thing, the only way you're gonna understand this thing, you have to understand that every wires that we use are conductors. So I just said conductors. Every conductors that we use have 3 columns, okay? So you have your first column, second column, and your third column. First column you use 60 C, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The second column is which one?
75,
Yeah,
167,
yeah. And what's the third column?
90,
All right,
194.
okay, all right. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you guys know why we have these 3 columns? What is the purpose? What is their purpose? What did they do? Why do we have them in the code book?
Try, I don't
Somebody else? Can somebody else give it a shot? What do you guys think? Why do we have those three columns? What do they do?
Different styles of protection on copper wire.
That's true. That's one. That's one aspect of it. What another aspect of it? What does they do? What's the purpose? Why do we have them? Why is they important? Why do we need to know them? Why do we need to know how to apply them? Which column do you use when are you, let's say when are you wiring a house? Which column do you use? Okay? So he says 60. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Why can't you use the 75C column?
Can.
Can you? Can you use it? If you can use it, when can you use it? What about the 90C column? Can you use it?
I believe that's what location.
Can you use it? When can you use it? So here how this thing work. Let's do this. Let's do a simple little exercise. Very, very simple. See, I love this chapter. This is like one of my favorite. I'm trying to not get so excited. So we have, okay, so these are AWG, right? AWG wires. American wiring kit. We have number 14, we have a number 12, and we have a number 10, and we have a number 8. Now, let's look at this thing. Different color. Whoa, that one's a black shot. Alright. So on the number 14, what is the, so if you look on that second papers that I give you, what is the amperage that they call for number 14? How much a number 14 can put on the 60C column?
15.
15. Okay. What about on the 75C column?
20.
Okay. What about on this 90 column?
25.
Okay. What about the 12?
20.
20.
Okay. What about on the 75? What about the 75?
25.
Okay.
30.
What about number 10?
30. 35. 40.
40. 40. 50. 55.
Okay. Now let me ask the question. Okay. You go into a house or you are wiring a house. Right? You are using THHN. Regular old THHN. The first thing you have to look, well, I give you a second piece of paper, right? If you turn around, it's gonna say something. You see over here, did I give you guys this one? Did I point out this one? Did I point out this one, right? I don't remember which one I point out.
Page 70, 188.
Which one I point out?
Yeah.
I got 180, okay. Alright, so did I point out 187 for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see how you have all those do you see how you have all of those types of wires up there?
Right.
It says TW and UF, and it says RHW, THHW, THW, and then over there you have like THW N2, and you also have like THHN over there also. So if I have a THHN wire here, I'm wiring, let's say I'm wiring a barn at my house. Okay? I'm wanting EMT. According to the text right here in the book, it just says if I have a THHN wires, it's good all the way to 30 amp if I'm using a number 12.
Right.
Can I go to Elliott or wholesale? Can I go to Elliott or wholesale and buy a 30 amp quickly and put that number 12 on it? Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that?
It says you can.
Okay? Let me ask a question then. Have you ever seen it been done before? Where you see somebody pull a bunch of THHN, let's say you're working for Siemens. Have you ever seen somebody put a 30 amp brick on a number 12?
Because that's what the asterisk is for, right?
Mm.
Stating that it can only be there's just, number 12 is limited to a 20 amp breaks being a 20 amp circuit.
It says section 240.4
Yeah. 240 limits.
shall be referenced for conductor overcurrent protection limitations except as modified elsewhere in the code.
Okay, let's try number 8 then. That's okay.
Yeah, there's no, yeah, okay.
Can I put a 55? Okay. Hey, can I put a 55 and break on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I do that? Are you sure?
On THHN?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
You can't?
Here's what's going on here. Shock you guys.
Even though it says you can?
Is what's going on here. Here's
Oh, he's about to tell a story, ain't
I thought that was that transformer go off. Now I'm going back. I thought this thing's not live.
you?
I was like, I know this thing's not live. But anyway. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going on here. You see this column? This column is only good for one thing and one thing only. We never ever use this column for anything except for one thing. Deweighting. We deweight wires on that column. This column is only used for two things. This column used for, think of it this way, this column is only used for resistance.
Okay.
Resistance that is created by heat or distance or whatever it is. We
Okay.
only use this column for deweighting, and I'm gonna explain you what that means, because I have to say, okay, what the heck that mean in the real world, Mark? Explain what that means. So here's what's going on. Here's how you use this column. Here's how you use this column. We're gonna start with that one first. We're gonna use the number 8 as an example. This is why, if you look in the book, it says ambient temperature correction factor based on Thole C. And it is a thing, correction factors. That's the key word, correction factors. That means we are trying to correct something. So, here's how this works. And you will see it later on when you start doing your assignment, it's gonna make sense. Here's how it works. And it will work. Let's say I have this piece of EMT here. Matter of fact, we just done it today. Let's say I have this piece of EMT here, right? Or PVC, don't matter, whichever. Okay? So we literally was just doing it today. We're setting up pole lights. So if I'm coming from here, from that distance, let's say this distance is 300 feet. No, that's what they give me a bunch of those, because half of them doesn't work. Let's say if I'm coming 300 feet, that's what they give me.
The discard pile.
Right, man.
There's one more like that behind that orange tub.
Hey, there it is. Let's say if I'm going 300 feet, guess what's gonna happen? There's something that's gonna cause voltage drop. We are not, man, don't get me started on voltage drop. We are not even started on that. Shen already know. He's already smiling. It's one of my favorite things too. So you have something called voltage drop. As we're going over a distance, we're gonna lose voltage. That's why we use our wires, make our wires bigger. Then we have something else too. So it says if the temperature is over 86 degrees, I have to say adjustment. Let me ask a question. Tell me what day is not over 86 degrees in Northwest Arkansas. I'll wait.
Winter.
Half of the year it's over.
He said, "I'll wait."
Guess what? That's already out of the window. So I already know. Guess what?
I'll
Now
wait.
I already have two factors. Now I have voltage drop, and I have Northwest Arkansas heat. That's gonna destroy my wire. That's two. That's the second strike. Guess what the third one is? You already know my boss will kill me if I only pull two little wires inside this pipe. He was like, boy, you better pack this baby up. You better put as many wires as you can in there. So you know if I have a 1-inch pipe, you already know there's gonna be at least like 10 number 8 in there. Minimum. So now guess what I have? So I have something that now I have over 3 conductors. Strike 3. That's why we use that column. So here's how it works. We're going to do voltage drop later on, don't worry. We're going to do voltage drop. I love it. Shannon, are you coming next week? We got a test. So I'm gonna use just 2 out of those. I'm gonna just use 2 out of those just to keep it simple. Just to keep it simple. Okay? Let's say I'm walking outside, right? I'm walking outside. This is actually literally what we did today. Literally. So it was 92 degrees today. It was like when I was out there, it was about 92. I checked in my watch and my phone, it was 92 degrees. So it was 92 degrees today, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So we are running for light. We are running for light. So let's say I have, since I'm going distance, so I have 6, they were 2-way. So they were I didn't have a neutral. So everything was 2-way. So all I have is like the ground and 2 conductors. So guess what? Let's say I have 6 conductors in that part with a ground. Okay? With a ground. How many wires do I have? 7. But how many that actually carrying current? 6. So now I have 92 degrees and I have 6 conductors. This is how that works. So when you go to this table here on page 89, it's going to tell you it's a number of current carrying conductors. Okay, it says if I have between 4 to 6 conductors, that's how much of my amperage that is good now. It's only 80%. So all of the sudden, my number 8, we're over here, that's good for 55 amp. Read on that column. Now all of the sudden, it's only good for 80%. So the maximum amp I can carry in that 80% of 55, that would be 44 amp. So the maximum I can carry of that, it would be 44 amp. Now, another thing we have to look at. The next thing it's gonna say, okay, there's something else I have to worry about. I have to look at the temperature outside. You see how you have the little temperature chart here? You see how it says this one is, since we're putting THHN, okay? So it's gonna say temperature that is between, right over here, it's gonna give you an ambient temperature. It says anything between 87 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit, I have to go all the way to that column right here. Okay? So if you notice, the colder it is, the better it is. So you want it to be cold. So if you go over here, where it is, there. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong page. There it is. We need to be on page 87. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Page 87, right there. So guess what? 87 to 95. You guys see where it said 0.96? You're laughing. I was on one page. 0.96. So guess what? It's 96%. Now, here's what you do. This is what I don't want you guys to get lost. Okay? Please, whatever you do, is not get lost. Like I request the board for a minute. So we're gonna do a bunch of those. Trust me. Don't. If you haven't done a lot of those, don't worry. We're gonna do a bunch of those. So now I have 2 numbers. It's 80. So it is 80% because I have between 4 to 6 conductors, and it is 96% because of what? Because of my temperature. So how do I figure how much my wire is good for? Now is what's going on. So you go over here in the book. I'm gonna show you one little example. Makes perfect sense. Let me see if I can find one so all you guys can follow. Yes, thank you. That's why I was gonna go with. Perfect. Thank you. All right, that's an excellent one. So first thing I do, so if follow the bottom of page 89, you're gonna see. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my amperage. Not that amperage. I'm not gonna put that 40. I'm gonna go with that amperage because the reason why I'm trying to find how much I can deal with this wire. Because here's the thing that I want you guys to know. In number 8, stranded, whether it's CHHN, RHN, whatever N that goes beyond it, the size of the copper is the same. That's not changing. What changing is the insulation. It's the insulation that is doing all of the changes in the temperature. That is the reason why you see it goes by column. Because those insulation, another thing on that page that I put to you guys earlier, he will tell you that there was one that tell you, yeah, thank you, but there was one that will tell you, he will tell you exactly what type of outer cover it is. If it's nylon jacket, if it's flame retardant, non-metallic, all of that fun stuff. So if you strip, so this is Womex. If I strip a solid piece of CHHN, if I strip this one here, which is CHHN, and this one is what we call Womex, which is CW. If I strip them, take them out of the jacket, there's no way I can tell which one that was a CHHN and which one that was a Womex. That's the reason why, I'm gonna tell you guys, you do not strip those things and put them inside flexes. You easily disconnect. I know some of you guys do. You're not supposed to do that because there's a different jacket that goes to that one. This one, the jacket on this one is not the same jacket that is on a THGN. The THGN is meant to go outside. This guy doesn't meant to go outside. This guy's supposed to stay inside. Unless you can look somewhere in there, it's a THGN. But that's a different story. So
you can't get THHN from
I trust me, I've seen it done. Like that shouldn't be done. And I also see that the warmers and put you inside a flex, that shouldn't be done either because it's not meant to go outside. But that's another story. So you take 55, guess what we're gonna times it by? The best way to remember it, it's amp, I make that rule, that's not one. It's A, T, N, not ATM. Amp, temperature, numbers of conductors. If you remember that, you will always remember how to do the formula. You'll be like, which one do I do first? Do I do the temperature first, or do I do the percentage? If you are ATM, like instead of ATM, you will always remember it that way. So that means you always go with your amperage, then the temperature. What was the temperature? 0.96, right? Times that by 0.96. Times that by 0.80. Shen, what's the answer? Shen, that was your job, man. When you were
What's that answer you got?
Shen, you slacking today. Shen, what's the answer? Fine, I find it. 55.
2.4.
Oh, we're late.
You gotta keep up.
42.24.
You just got here.
So, guess what? Now, that is the only way this thing will work. That is if I'm going from there to there. So I'm going, here's my panels over here. Let's say I'm going only a couple of feet. There go. But if I decided to put voltage drop on this thing will be dropped way down. This thing probably can only pull back like maybe 30 amp. But that's okay. Here's the reason why this is okay. The only reason why we're using number 8, because we were thinking of voltage drop. Those lights doesn't pull nothing. Matter of fact, all of those number 8s that we were pulling, they are going on the 20 amp breakers. They're going on a 2 or 20. So I know that for a fact I am safe. I don't even have to worry about doing any voltage drop or anything like that because I know there is no way those lights ever gonna pull more than all of them. I think they were like 1.7 amp per hertz and there was only like 15 of them. Something like that. I don't know. But I know that even if all of them coming up at the same time going on and plus they're coming from 2 different breakers anyway, I have 2 sets. So I know that the most all of them is gonna pull per breaker is gonna be 10 amps. So I know that I am safe. I can just check, done deal. But